Hello everyone, welcome back to Coffee Outdoors. Today's July 22nd, 2024. Just received in the mail today my check and information from the June Fur Harvesters auction. So I don't know if any of you followed it. The prices seem to be down a little bit this last auction compared to the one they had earlier in the year. So with that being said, we'll break into what the sales were. Then we'll go over what my check is for what I sent up this last fall. So, all right, starting out, beaver. They offered 46,424 beaver. 75% of those sold. Eastern sections, average was 25.55. Western section, 19.18. And overall, 24.03 cents. They did have a top, $66. Otter, they had 4,957 offered, 72% of those sold. Northern section had an average of $30.24, Central $29.77, and overall $28.67 with a top of $72. Red Fox, they had 7,821 offered. 30% of those sold. Eastern section average was $12.41. Northern was $10.02. And Western was $4.20. And Central was $3.72. They did have a top of $30. Gray Fox, they had 3,596 offered. 74% of those sold. Overall, price was $14.91 with a top of $33. Raccoon, they had 54,042 offered, 92% of those sold. Canadian section had an average of $6.52. Western Heavy had an average of $9.86. And the Easterns had an average of $5.07 with the overall top of $41. Wild Mink, they had 11,726 offered. 100% of those sold. Northern section, they had an average of $10.66. Central, they had an average of $9.82 with a top of $13.50. Bobcat, they had 6,463 offered. 100% of the Canadian section sold with an average of $195.61 with a top of $300. Northern section, average of $109.86 with a top of $320. Western section, $443.93 is average with a top of $2,000. And Central section, average of $71.24 with a top of $200. Coyote, they had 27,788 offered, 41% of those sold. Western section had an average of $22.43, Eastern $12.41 with a top of 86. Badger, they had 1,162 offered, 98% sold. Overall had a $24.49 average, $98 top. Skunk, 1,731 offered, 83% sold. Overall average $13.25, top of $34. And let's just throw possum in here for the heck of it. They had 2,875 possum offered, 33% sold. Overall average was 61 cents with a top of $3. And that's from the June auction. As you can see, prices were down. More raccoon moved, but you know, there's still no money in it. Hardly any coyotes moved, but of course they send you a letter on it how a lot of the goods moved. Starting to see movement and interest in raccoon, but the prices are just ain't there. So with that being said, wish I would have had my fur up at the other auction in late March, early April. That's not what I'm looking for. There we go. This is a breakdown of what I had up there. So, I sent up, back in April, I sent up my fur for the June auction. I had one beaver. I caught 3 coyote, 4 raccoon, and one big beaver. So I sent up the big beaver, and it did not sell. It was unsold, and it will be re-offered. They had that as the 1X. Raccoons, I had 4 raccoons. I had a 1X that's slight damage that sold for $1. I had a 2X good damaged at $1. I had a 2X regular, sold for $1. And I had a 2X select that sold for $4.50. And as I said, I sent up 3 coyote. I had 2 coyotes still up there. Now I have 5 coyotes still up there, as none of them sold. So with the raccoon selling, I made $7.50 out of the auction. But my check, after they take their commission and stuff out, I had a check for $6.67. That's right. Sold 4 raccoon. I got a check for $6.67, which is just a little over the margin, because if you don't have a sales of $5 or more, or any sales $5 or less, you won't get a check. That money will just stay in your account until you have over $5. So I guess I'm lucky to get a check. But my God, 4 raccoons, a check for $6.67. Large beaver did not sell. Still have 5 coyote up there for the next auction, which won't be till next year now. So my thoughts, it's not getting any better. I mean, we're running out of avenues unless you know how to tan fur, sell it yourself to recoup your losses on the gas money and baits, lures, equipment, everything you spend on the trap line, not to mention all the time and hard work. But I do it for the love of it, but I do like to make a little money just to recoup money for baits, lures, stuff like that. Even gas every now and then. I mean, shit, $6.67, that's not a drop in the bucket in the gas tank. But we'll reevaluate and have to plan our routes differently this year, and as far as try to save gas when we run the trap line. Maybe hopefully get a few more properties along the same route, so that way we can benefit that. But my God, we got to start selling some coyotes. Raccoon prices got to start going up, or we're just going to be overrun with them. I mean, then the next thing you know, we're just going to have lots of raccoon sickness, coyote sickness. It's just, it never ends. We need to manage our wildlife, but their fur needs to bring a little more money. All right, I'm done complaining. Just wanted to share that with you. That was the June Fur Harvesters auction. Like I said, the March auction was a lot better as far as prices, but they moved a lot of beaver and they moved at decent prices. So thank you all for watching. I greatly appreciate it. I hope to start coming back here with up-to-date videos more regularly. Like I said, it's middle of July, gets closer to trapping season. Got a few things I want to bring up and go over on video for mainly new trappers to look into before they go out and spend money on equipment. So with that being said, thank you all for watching. I'll see you in the next video.